Over the past 3 days, I've walked through multiple Nike factory stores, Foot Lockers, and famous footwears to come to this one conclusion. Nike has to lower their prices because ever since groceries got more expensive for you and me, we all realized the truth that you don't need a $200 pair of sneakers to feel good if you're hungry. So let's talk about it together. Let's begin. So, if you're wondering how this happened, it's because Nike, the most respected sneaker and athletic wear company in the entire world, is quickly losing customers, all because Nike forgot what their customers actually care about: good prices, good consistent quality, and cool sneakers that are very comfortable. Because, like a lot of the biggest companies in the world that are just so successful that they can create anything and will people buy it, Nike took their popularity for granted for a very long time because Nike was popular culture. Everyone had Nikes, and it was really part of your fashion statement. You identified with your sneakers, and your sneakers communicated your status to everybody else. But those same Nikes you can still wear to the gym. You can still wear the Nike apparel to the gym, and it would perform well, wash well, and it would keep well. And if we just take a brief look at the history of Nike over the years, you can just see the evolution of gym fashion, aka athletic leisure. And in every single decade since about the 1980s, Nike wasn't just part of these trends, it actually helped shape them. Just think about the Air Force Ones, the Air Max 1990s, the Air Max 95s, Contempos, Flyknits, Dunks. A lot of these sneakers you might have heard of because everybody was wearing them. And for many of us, no one can forget just the cultural relevance of wearing your Air Jordans and how hard they were to obtain, especially if you're trying to rock them on day one. But ultimately, with the demise of the hype based era, many of us will agree that Nike is facing the most competition they've ever experienced since the 1990s Reebok pumps. Because today, there's companies like Hoka, ON, Lululemon, Under Armour, Alo Yoga, even Crocs that are all targeting Nike's neglected loyalists like Nike Runners and Nike Gym Rats. So each one of these competition companies, they really do one thing very well and then they expand into other things. Like Lululemon was really known for Pilates and yoga. Hoka's great for running. Under Armour, I'm not sure. And these upstart brands, they made it their business to react faster on social media, cut out some of the bureaucracy that might be affecting a company as large as Nike, and it directly targeted specific demographics with new innovation, like a different design or a new colorway tied to some new sole technology that this company was developing for the last 5, 10 years. They just have a interesting story and people like new things. And no one's even mentioning the elephant in the room. Nikes are really cool if you're over the age of 25, 30, because if you're from the era of Michael Jordan or you're from the era of LeBron James, that's when Nike was so cool, so peak. Everybody rocked them and they were ruling the NBA. Everything that Jordan and LeBron did, people wanted to be a part of. Or even think about this: when Tiger Woods was playing, Nike was on top of the world. But today, there is not a star, in my opinion, in the NBA of that cultural magnitude. Even a Kobe Bryant or a Shaquille O'Neal, there just isn't one with that kind of culture impact. And if you think about the times, LeBron James is going to play with his son on the Lakers. That is how long it's been. Combine that with Nike pushing all of their sales to Nike.com so they can keep more of the profit and just burning all their bridges with their distribution network of third-party retailers like Macy's and Foot Locker. It just really hurt them in the end when they needed the most help or exposure, because it's like a two-sided sword here. Because the convenience of shopping online also means it's very convenient for you to change your mind and go to another website while shopping. This transaction can happen in seconds, or the switch can happen in seconds. And I also think that you have a much easier time doing price comparison on your computer. So I don't need to get it from Nike if I can see a lot of other brands and I can see how much it costs and their styles, and I can imagine how well it fits my lifestyle or my wardrobe. And then it makes it easy for me to switch on my Nikes. But there was something different when you buy Nikes at a Foot Locker or even the outlet store, because that in person experience reinforces your connection to the brand, especially if you have some nostalgia or loyalty to Nike. And that's really what Nike was counting on And we can see a lot of that goodwill has been eroding. And Nike had that for so long because ultimately, when we purchased our sneakers, we had an emotional feeling. It made us feel special. But now, since we're purchasing a lot of our footwear online, well, it gives us a different feeling, and the swoosh doesn't mean the same thing anymore. And before I get into all of the solutions or the possible solutions for Nike, let me just add in one more thing because we cannot discredit the rise of social media and the rise of everyone having a cell phone in terms of how that affects Nike. Because Nike is so good on social media. They have the biggest stars. They are very, very savvy. Their picture quality is next level. They work with the best filmmakers, but that's not enough anymore to make a new trend. And that's something that Nike was so good at creating before, but no longer. So now Nike has to spend more and more and more money so that they can be part of a wave or part of a trend. And that trend can die off within 3 months, 2 weeks, who knows, because it's all based on social media. But Nike has to commit a lot of money trying to chase that trend. And once that stuff, if it doesn't sell, what do they do with it? They have to just liquidate it because nobody wants it afterwards. So let's pivot to Nike's future because retail analysts from banks like Goldman Sachs, UBS, JP Morgan, whose only job is really to predict future Nike sales because they want to make money on the Nike stock, all agree that Nike is doing many of the right things to clean up their over inventory retro business. They want to accelerate innovation in-house and reinvest in the retail consumer experience at their stores and at third-party sites. But the same analysts that are making these predictions didn't predict the Adidas Boost era or the popularity of Yeezys or every time Converse gets popular again. They just are not sure because these are trends that they're not sure of. And who could have seen that Abercrombie could ever make a comeback? And here we are. Abercrombie is huge again. So worse, what if that innovative new sneaker that everyone is looking for has a new innovative silhouette or a new hybrid sole technology, but ends up costing $300, like the Nike Alphafly 3 blueprints? So let me ask you a honest question. Would you buy a pair of Nike running sneakers because they put carbon fiber and double dose of Air Zoom all in that sneaker for about $285? So if you are one of those people that would not pay for that, the Nike peaked in 2022 and 2023 based on how much stuff they were actually selling. And if you need a very honest and direct clue that this is the problem, look no further than Wall Street because Nike stock is down 60% from its peak just 3 years ago. That is insane considering Nike is one of the most recognized brands in the entire world. And if we're just talking about business between you and me, well, think about Nike. Loyal customers who shop on Nike's website are just no longer spending for new pairs of Air Force Ones in every color and Air Jordan 3s or 4s in every color or Dunks like they used to, which is basically how the company was making a bulk of its money. And then you have to throw in the apparel. Apparel was a big moneymaker for Nike, except a lot of other companies came and are looking to capture so much of the fitness, athletic leisure trend that it's been so competitive for Nike, and Nike is still very expensive compared to their competition. So long story short, as a Nike fan who's been wearing Nikes exclusively for over 20 years, who has multiple pairs of Air Jordans that he's never even put on, I just hope that Nike slows down the collaborations and the retros and the rehashes and all the different remix options and just gets back to the basics. It is what Nike always does when their sales drop. They lower their prices and get back to the basics. Because suddenly a 20% drop in prices across the board on all the high-end products from Nike could boost Nike's relevance back to GOAT status. Because that's how I want the next generation to appreciate Nike just like I did. Because I remember Nike being very expensive. I just don't remember Nike being this expensive. So with that, please hit that like and subscribe button below. It really does help support our channel. And please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below because I will get back to you. And I am a real big Nike fan, guys. I don't want to sound like I'm discouraging anyone from buying Nikes. I love my Nikes. I just hope that Nike can go back to its roots, and I hope that they remember to love us back. So I'll catch you next time. This is David with the French Glow signing off. Bye, bye, bye.